All right, guys, welcome back to my NFL week predictions. We're on to week 8. We still got 10 more weeks of football left after this. Yeah, last week it was a lot of inconsistent teams, and some of them I knew were for sure going to win, some pulled off the upset. But this time around, we've got some serious divisional games. Like, seriously, I'm looking through the list. There are some divisional games going on, and those are always a toss-up. But these, like, I can 90% of the time nail down who's going to win here. But you never know. Any given Sunday, am I right? So, starting off, we've got a hell of a Thursday night game. The Packers taking on the undefeated Cardinals. Now, this is going to be a good one. This is one of the, after seeing how well the Cardinals have been doing, and even though the Packers have been wounded, have been beating opponents consecutively after that punch in the mouth they got from the Saints. The Cardinals, after the Texans basically spit in their eye, they were like, "You're dead," and proceeded to massacre them across the field. So this is going to be a good one. I think this is, even though the Packers are going to be wounded, you can never doubt Aaron Rodgers, and that defense is getting back now. Devontae Adams is going to be off on the COVID list, and there are still some injuries, but they've managed to pull wins out of their ass. And the Packers could give the Cardinals their first loss. It could be their first loss after. Even though, yeah, you could say, oh, they beat the Texans last week. Yeah, but look at the other 6 opponents they've gone through. They have torn through opponents multiple times. I'm going to give this to the Packers. Not the Packers, the Cardinals. But I would not be shocked if the Packers pull off the win. But I'm going to give it more to the Cardinals. They're coming in healthy. They're coming in strong. And they're going to be raring to really make a statement. And I think they're going to make a real statement out of the Packers. Of saying, hey, don't fuck with us. So, but like I said, the Packers, I would not be shocked if the Packers, despite being wounded, could come in here into the Arizona's home field and, pull up the upset. I would not be shocked. Next up, we got the we've got the Panthers taking on the Falcons. Panthers, I'm done with you. I'm just done. I had you going for a dark horse in the game in the playoffs, but after it's like watching the Broncos. You're frauds. You're straight frauds. You're nothing without Christian McCaffrey, and I can clearly see you're vying a lot for having Deshaun Watson. After benching Sam Darnold, which we all thought, hey, Sam Darnold, he's actually good outside of the Jets. And then we see the real Sam Darnold show up, and it's not good. He's done. I think he's circling the drain at this point. Yeah. Falcons, you're no better. Falcons, you are really no better. Congratulations, you didn't choke a lead away with a surprise kick. You almost choked it away, but you somehow pulled a win out of your ass. So this game could go either. This is another go either way game. Again, the divisional games can be really bring out the most in each team. But I think I'm going to give this to the Falcons. Something's telling me to go with the Falcons because you can always trust Matt Ryan, but you can also trust. It's nice that they picked Matt Ryan also to be the guy, to be a spokesperson for Tide Pods. Because like Tide Pods, the Falcons choke every fucking game. So, that was awful. Anyway. Panthers. After you embarrassed yourselves to a wounded Giants team, yeah, you've embarrassed yourselves. You were being handed a win, and to prove, hey, maybe we still got gas in the tank. But after that embarrassment with the Giants, I'm never picking you again, unless you're playing the Jets, and even then, I'm like, maybe I might pick the Jets. So I'm gonna give this to the Falcons, but who knows? Maybe the Falcons will choke a win away. Who the fuck knows? Next up, we got my Tennessee Titans taking on the Indianapolis Colts. We got an AFC South divisional game. Colts have been on an upswing. Carson Wentz is somehow Frankensteining his way to being a good quarterback. The defense is there, but look at where we are. Look where the Titans are. We defeated the Bills in a shootout And I'm not going to, even as a Titans fan, I'm not going to shit on the Bills' head coach, Sean McDermott, trying to go for it on 4. You know, you were on the goal line. You didn't want to go. You didn't want to do a kick and put it into overtime and not risk the ball of getting back into Tannehill's hands, or worse, Derrick Henry's hands. They're coming off of I'll get to the Bills in a moment. But yeah, I don't blame them. I don't blame the Bills for making that decision. I think that was a smart idea of chancing it, because even as a Titans fan, I can admit our defense can be a little garbage sometimes. So I get it, but we still won. And then what I can't forgive, the Chiefs. You embarrassed yourselves. You've literally just said to the NFL, we're weak. Like, it's panic time, Chiefs fans. It's officially panic time. The Titans were coming off a win of not only like the Bills, who I still consider a threat in the AFC. We're basically coming off of a decimation of the Chiefs. We didn't score any points in the second half, but like we didn't need to. We just held them to 3 points. There was a hot moment where I was like, "Oh God, we're gonna have a 28-3 moment." No, we were like, "We're not those. We're not the Falcons." So our defense is actually getting strong. We are just wrecking opponents left and right, and it's kind of funny because I chose the Chiefs and the Bills to beat the Titans, and they ended up winning. So maybe that reverse jinx theory I had is to fruition. I am still dreading that Rams game though for Sunday night. I am definitely dreading that game. But here I'm gonna I think AFC like divisional games are always tough, and I never doubt the Colts, even if they're still they're on an upswing, after beating, admittedly, a beaten down 49ers team on a Sunday night. I still think the Colts are the only real threat we have in this division, because who else do we have? We have the Texans and the fucking Jaguars. So, I'm gonna give this to the Titans, but this might be a slugfest. This might be a total slugfest between the two teams. I really hope the Titans don't get an ego and forget, oh yeah, we're still playing football, even though we decimated one team that's actually a really good AFC team, and a team that thought it was good. You got exposed, by the way. I'll get to you in a moment, Chiefs, but I'll get to that. But yeah, I'm giving this to the Titans, but I would not be shocked if this comes down to the wire. Next up, we've got the Miami Dolphins and the Bills. The Bills I just talked about, coming off of a heartbreaker in a shootout with the Titans. I still think you're a threat, Bills, and you're coming off of a bye week, and you're probably looking to murder something. The Miami Dolphins, how nice of you to walk into the Bills today. Let's just drag you into a back alley and shank you. This is going to be a murder. This is just, I know divisional games can be toss-ups, but this is a murder. Dolphins, you choked away you let the Jaguars have their first win. You're garbage. You don't deserve like anything good. Everyone, after that surprise 10-6 season, which I'm starting to think is a fluke at this point, I don't think you, and also that surprise win you had over the Patriots, I don't think you should deserve anything. I just think, and you've also traded away your first round pick to the Eagles. And the Bills are going to be looking for a statement after that heartbreaker against the Titans. So, no doubt about it, I think they're going to kill you. I think they're going to legit salt the earth, because they're going to be rested, they're going to be angry, and looking for a divisional rival to take that anger out on. And you just walked into them. So, yeah. So, Bills. Next up, we got the Bengals taking on the Jets. You'd think this would be a tank bowl, but no. The Bengals, believe it or not, are the number one current reigning champions and number one in the AFC. What timeline are we in where the goddamn Chiefs are like on a losing streak and the Bengals are at the top of the AFC at the moment? I thought they were just going to have a few wins and still lose, but now, between that Burrow-Jamar Chase connection, that defense is getting stronger, that offense is getting stronger, the Bengals are starting to be like the old 80s Bengals. I would not be... Actually, I'm starting to think the Bengals might be fighting for a wild card. I don't know if they can be the divisional winner because the Ravens are still there, but after that beatdown against Baltimore, these guys basically said, we're not the Bungles, we're not the Cincinnati Bungles anymore. We're the Bengals. Put respect on that name. Kitty goes meow. And they're going to be riding that again. They're going to be riding that just domination over the Ravens against the Jets, who are, oof, you're a mess. You've always been a mess, Jets. So, yeah, I'm giving this the Bengals. They are going to be coasting to another win. Don't let the ego get ahead of you. It would be embarrassing if you beat the Ravens one week and lose. Yeah, knock on wood, that doesn't happen. But yeah, Bengals. I'm really happy Joe Burrow has come off of his devastating injury and is having a game this season. He is just having himself a season. There's a part of me that thinks either they are going to win the division and get to the playoffs, or they're going to get to the playoffs via wild card. Either way, I do see this team, if they keep riding this momentum, they are going to be a team to look out for come January football. So I'm going to give this to the Bengals. Next up, we got the Steelers taking on the Browns. Browns, it hasn't been a good season for you, and it's not because of your fault. It's not your fault. You've just been snake bit by the injury cobra. Like, it just came along and spat venom in your eyes and slithered off. But you did have a momentum win. It was an ugly win, but it's still a win against the Denver Broncos. Steelers, congratulations. You've literally had a 2-game win streak against a Seahawks team without Russell Wilson, and also, you've basically been beating on other opponents. So, I'm not shocked. You'd think I would give this because they have a strong defense. You'd think I would give this to the Steelers. Wrong, I'm giving this to the Browns. And I'm going to tell you why I'm giving this to the Browns. Because I've seen this game before. I've seen this story before, where the Steelers will play down to their opponent, namely the Browns, when they're wounded, they're hurt, they don't have all of their guys, and they're just going to let their ego, as per goddamn usual, get the best of them, and just, think they're just better than them. So Big Ben is, the Steelers are 3-3, but you'd think also, fuck the Yinzers for, cheering a near-paralyzed player during that Seahawks game. So, I don't care. So, Steelers fans... Steelers, this is going to be a trap game for you, because the Browns are going to be coming in here, even though wounded, they're going to want to make a statement out of somebody, and that somebody is going to be you. Because we've seen this game before. I've seen it multiple times. And I'm not talking just that wild card game last year. I'm talking about that a few games before. Like several games, not just with the Browns, but with other teams, where you just play down to your opponent because you think you're superior. Mike Tomlin, you're not a good coach. You've just been coasting off of talent. So Browns, even though they're wounded, and they could, any given Sunday, as the old saying... I'm giving this to the Browns. I think they're going to be angry. I think they're going to be looking to stand up to Big Brother and say, sit your ass down, old man, it's my time. So, sorry. Next up, we've got a shit game between the Eagles and the Lions. Eagles, yeah, you're the Eagles. Whatever. You're the Eagles, that's all I can say. Detroit, wasn't it nice for a hot second? You thought you were going to beat the Rams. Jared Goff was going to have his revenge game. Nope. It was literally like a moment. It was like, oh, Jared, it's so nice of you to show up to this game. We're the Rams. And just proceed to, it's like the Rams took all of their frustration out on Jared Goff after that, Jared was like having a moment of like, you betrayed me, McVay. And then the Rams went, we're done here, and just proceed to pummel them into the ground. I'm giving this to the Eagles, but who knows? This is actually another game where I think the Lions could win. But yeah, it's like I said last week, it's time for the Lions just to lie down and take the tank. Just accept you're a tank. Eagles, yeah, I think you're just going to do the bare minimum enough to get a win here. So I'm giving this to the Eagles. But again, Lions could maybe get their first win here. This is a game where the Lions could easily win or lose in heartbreaking fashion. Anyway, Next up, you got the LA Rams taking on the Texans. Do I need to say anything? Really? No, really. I'm asking generally. Do I need to say anything for this? It's the Rams. Like it's literally it's just another. This is another beating. Anyway, so Rams. Next up, we got the 49ers taking on the Bears. 49ers, you're coming off of a heartbreaker against the Colts. Bears, you got massacred, just butchered by the Buccaneers. And I think the 49ers are going to pull out I feel bad for Justin Fields, I really do, because social media basically said, put in Fields, even though we have Nick Foles, a legitimate QB, and even though he's a novice rookie QB, we suddenly think we're all that. How about them Bears? Bear down! I'm making the Bears fans sound like a stroke, but yeah, I'm convinced after that game and after the past few losses, Justin Fields' just confidence has got to be shot at this point. And even though Garoppolo looked like garbage in the last game, I think he's gonna I think he is just gonna pull out do enough. And this team still has talent that the 49ers are probably going to beat down the Bears, and poor Fields is just going to be ruined as a QB by Matt Nagy. But hey, who knows? Maybe this will get enough that Nagy can get shot out of a cannon. Who knows? So I'm going to give this the 49ers. Next up, we got the Patriots taking on the Chargers. Chargers coming off of a bye and also not showing up to that Ravens game. I think it goes back to any given Sunday. I still think the Chargers are a legitimate threat and are definitely either going to win the AFC West division, or they are going to win a wild card spot. But the Patriots are not like, they're a dying empire, but you can't take them for granted. You can't count them out just yet. You have to keep digging the stake in the vampire. You gotta hit with every hammer. You just gotta get there to the heart of, the disgusting Boston cream filled Dunkin' Donut drinking, Spygate reading, blood sucking motherfucking vampire that is Bill Belichick. And the Chargers, I think, are going to be pissed off and well-rested. You don't want a well-rested and pissed-off team going against you. Yeah, I think the Chargers are going to take this. I do expect this to be this is going to be a slugfest between the two. And as long as the Chargers don't shoot themselves in the foot with penalties, this is going to go either way. I think they're going to be having a chip on their shoulder and looking to make a statement. And the Patriots are still an unpredictable team. But I do think that this is going to be the Chargers going, yeah, that Ravens game is never going to happen again. You're next, fat boy. Anyway. Next up, we got the Seahawks taking on the Jaguars. Oh, Christ. Seahawks. Seahawks. It has not been a good season for you. That was a heartbreaker last night. Jaguars, you got your first win, are coming off of a bye week. And yeah, and if you win again, this will probably mean, hey, Urban Meyer gets to stay for another season, even though he doesn't deserve this for multiple reasons. Seahawks defense suddenly suddenly became good where it kind of should have been from the get-go. I do think I'm going to give this to the Seahawks. I don't trust the Jaguars enough to suddenly come off of a bye and get another win. But Seahawks, you're done. This season's not going to be good for you the rest of the way. Yeah. It's not going to go well for you. Anyway, moving on to the Buccaneers taking on the Saints. Saints coming off of a win against and the Buccaneers coming off of a massacre they perpetrated on the Bears. Now you would think, with Gronkowski coming back and several people getting healthy at the right time, you think I'd give this to the Bucs. Something's telling me to pick the Saints, and I'm going to tell you why. Like I always said, these divisional games can go either way and bring out the best in both teams. And while the Saints have been inconsistent, they do have the pieces in place to put up a fight. Multiple times they've shown like they can put up a great fight against anybody. That defense is solid. That offense still needs work, but I do think when Jameis isn't being famous Jameis and making famous Apple turnovers, I do think the Saints can be a legitimate threat. And here's the thing about what we've looked at for the past few games with the Buccaneers. Who have they played? A bunch of teams that are tanking, that are failing. They have literally one of the easiest schedules in the NFL. Like, it's not even like they're competing. And what game? And let's look at when they played legitimate opponents. They almost lost to the Cowboys. And they got beat down by the Rams, and also had losses to both the Falcons and the Eagles. And that defense still needs work. That defense is still kind of messed up, and I still think I think the Saints are going to jump on that. I do think the Saints are going to jump on that, and they're going to put up a fight. So and that's the thing. Like, I don't think that like the Buccaneers are going to be like, oh, we've just been coasting after win because we've been playing shitty teams. So you know, we won't take the Saints seriously, and that's going to be their flaw. I think the Saints are going to. I think the Saints. Something's telling me the Saints are looking to upset them and still say, yeah, we're still in this division, bitch. So I'm going to give this to the Saints. But who knows? Tom Brady could suddenly pull off a win, and everyone will be like, "Oh, Tom Brady's the greatest!" Ah! Anyway. Oh, this game's gonna suck. This next game's gonna suck. Washington taking on the Broncos. Broncos, you're frauds. Like I said, you've exposed yourselves as not a good team after a 3-game win streak, and now 4 consecutive losses. Washington, you're no better, and your owner sucks. I think this is a team where this is 2 terrible teams that could easily go either way. But honestly, I might give this more to the Broncos, mostly because they actually have like a team that's not like a hodgepodge of crap on the. I also apologize to one of my subscribers who is a Washington fan. Even you've said that you've acknowledged that the Washington team kind of needs help, but yeah, there needs to be help. The Washington football team first needs to be owned by someone other than that shit stain you got owning you right now. And for all we know, with John Gruden saying in his emails, Jeffrey Bezos might be your owner. That might not be better. But yeah, Broncos, I'm giving you this win, but don't think, going suddenly 4-4, you're going to be like, oh, we're good again. We're actually a legit team. No, you're going to get your shit pushed in every other week. Anyway, moving on to our Sunday night game, and this might actually be good. Like, this might be a fist fight. We got the Cowboys taking on the Vikings. Cowboys coming off of a bye week after a amazing win over the Patriots, and probably for the best they got a bye week because Dak did have a calf injury, so the bye week probably helped. Vikings coming off a few upswing wins. They've somehow managed to win games, even though it's literally going to be like watching 2 shit coaches trying to out-shit coach one another. Mike Zimmer versus Mike McCarthy. Both coaches suck and no one wants them there. Even the fan bases don't want them there. Seriously, there's so much good talent on the offense for the Cowboys. Their only real danger is Mike McCarthy. Kirk Cousins is Kirk Cousins, but Mike Zimmer and McCarthy are just bad. And the Vikings have had like upswing wins, but they're also like down to the wire games against teams that really are really bad. But yeah, I'm gonna give this to the Cowboys, but I do a part of me thinks this is gonna be a shootout nonetheless. I think this might be a good Sunday night game. Next up, well, finally for our Week 8 predictions, we have the New York Giants taking on the Chiefs. Chiefs, you got exposed. There's nothing to say about it. There's nothing more to say about it. You got exposed on a grand level against the Titans. And I'm not saying that just as a Titans fan. I'm saying that as a fan of football. I kind of noticed these cracks in the... Even though you went 14-2 last season, there were some winnable games, but you nearly lost several times over. And this season is proving your defense is bad. Patrick Mahomes has suddenly, regressed. Regressed is probably too hard, and I'm not going to call Patrick Mahomes washed yet. But it's clear people have figured out his gameplay. Also, his family has been kind of a, drag. Patrick Mahomes' family is literally doing to him what Yoko Ono did to the Beatles. Oof, that was some shots. That's a spicy take. But yeah, Giants, you're no better. You literally came off of a win that, even though you're wounded, you're all that, and you think, oh, we beat the Panthers. We're still good. We'll draft more wide receivers. We don't need to change shit. You do. Starting with Joe Judge, you need to fire his ass out of a cannon. And I'm gonna give this to the Chiefs. But here's the thing: that doesn't make you good, Chiefs. You have basically revealed to everyone that you are no longer a legitimate contender. Maybe you're going to have an easy few games. I checked the schedule ahead, and you're going to have an easy few games just to pat your numbers. But here's the thing: I think either the Raiders or the Chargers are going to be winning that division. You are probably at best going to be playing for a wild card. At best, but yeah, it gets harder. There's going to be a lull for the Chiefs. And then it's just going to get harder, progressively harder. So you might be playing for a wild card this season, but yeah, Chiefs. I don't know what to tell you, Chiefs fans. I'm sorry, but anyway, so there you go, guys. That is my NFL Week 8 predictions. Just comment below, let me know. Hope you all enjoyed these. I know these are not the most viewed videos, but hey, I enjoy doing these, and there is like a small group of fans who do enjoy these videos. And it's a nice change of pace sometimes. Anyway, so as always, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.